Eli Manning stays on his feet. It is caught by
Tyree. All right, welcome to Catch the Moment podcast. It's your host, David Tyree. Locking back in for another episode. This is where you come to get these gems. We'll get you everything you need to go. Get you on the journey, the process, the pain points. This is when we peel it back, get you on your road to success. Today I'm here with a new friend. Jersey is in the building as always, man. Myles Hartsfield, free agent, current player, International Football League. What's good, family?
Nothing. Everything's good, man.
Solid?
Good. Everything's solid.
So we here in Hoboken today. You ever been to Hoboken?
So I passed through Hoboken. You know, you see everybody talking about the downtown area of Hoboken where you can go after like a game or something like that. But me, I stick to the Jersey City, Elizabeth area. Don't really mess with too much.
Bro,
of Hoboken.
It's crazy getting in here. You know, just the traffic, the
streets. You gotta find your parking.
These streets that have you stressed. Okay, these streets that have you stressed for real, man. For sure. But it's a pleasure to finally. Just connect, man. But obviously, you know, you were a peculiar athlete, man. We have a mutual acquaintance. Your manager, Michael Seabrook, love what he's doing and love your relationship and how it cultivated. But before I get into, you know, what I really love about some of your journey right now as a professional athlete, I'm OG on the scene. You got to tell me, where were you first time you ever saw the helmet catch? Any memories? What you got from it?
So the first time when I saw the helmet catch, I was probably, what year was that? That was
08.
08?
15.
08. I was in fourth grade, maybe fourth grade. But I remember just seeing the game and watching the whole the journey of Eli coming out of the tackle and all this, and then him just throwing it up, and we're like, no way, this is gonna be a catch. And you just come down and it's stuck on the helmet. We're like, no way. And as a kid that age, you know, the Giants was my second favorite team at the time. Baltimore Ravens was number one.
Ravens, okay.
Then the Giants. But my whole family was a Giants fan.
Okay.
So I was old
you
in
was
the
against
house.
the grain.
Yeah. Everybody's my dad's a Cowboys fan. My mom, sister, everybody's a Giants fan. But just watching that, you see that, and then, you know, there's not many more catches that can get better than that, especially at that moment.
No, definitely not. That's gonna be a conversation for a whole nother pod where we just, you know, because everybody get on social media. What's the best catch ever? All this other stuff.
That's my number one. You got it hands down.
Respect, man. Tell me a little bit of background though. So obviously you're actually from Jersey. Yep. You know, I'm always on my pod having fun talking about Jersey. People don't understand. They don't understand the environment here completely. We don't get, you know, we get the step cousin treatment to New York City.
Exactly.
And they don't understand the pedigree that's going on in the Garden State. Yep. That's why I'm always bigging up Jersey. So talk about some of your background growing up and eventually how you kind of what gravitated you toward the sport of football and how things materialized. So where you from and you know, a little bit of those formative years.
So family's mostly from East Orange, New Jersey.
Let's go as county.
You know what I'm saying? They still live in the same grandma's old house, all that stuff.
19th Street?
North 19th
Big
Street.
shout out Springdale.
Yep. And then we moved to Sayreville, New Jersey when I was in second grade. Me, my sister, and my parents, Wandra and Daryl. My mom's a school teacher. My dad works at NYU. So working class just wanted to give us a better life and what they had. So moving to Sayreville, went through elementary school, upper elementary school, middle schools, was a 3-sport athlete, ran track, winter, spring, played basketball, played football.
Okay.
Growing up, I thought I was going to be a track guy. My sister
what was your races?
So I was a triple jumper. I won nationals my senior year.
Say word.
Yeah. So
you had the bunnies.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. So I was a triple jumper, high jumper, long jumper. Just thought that was, you know, it was something that I can do without having to worry about somebody else. And
big facts. That's kind of the beauty of track. That's actually my second. That's my side chick, track and field.
You know, football kind of. You know, I played it all my life. Played it since I was 5 years old. But you know, every year I was that crybaby kid. Not gonna lie, I was that kid that would get hit down, and then be like, my parents like, is he gonna get up? Is he gonna get up?
I'd be crying. This is dope to hear, bro, because you don't hear nobody actually tell that story.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
It's a violent sport. This year is actually my son's first year playing football. Yeah. And I got one who got the right energy, and I got another one who's terrified. Hey man, it takes a couple years to get that coward out.
It It took me a while.
Listen, it takes a while. When did you like, nah, man, I'm about this life? What was the turning point for you? Because that's real.
Freshman year, I played 2 games on freshman, 2 scrimmages on freshman. After that, they moved me up to varsity. Oh. And then me and my dad and my uncle Darrell, he was one of my coaches from Pop Warner. And he was one of that tried to instill, yo, you got to get up after you get hit. And I'm like, man, these Jones hurt. Like, you telling me you go get hit out there. But
big fact.
I just, so freshman year, played mostly defense, so I didn't get hit as much. Yeah. Sophomore year, Piscataway game, our biggest rival in Sayreville was Piscataway. Every year it was Sayreville and Piscataway. Who's going to win this game? Sayreville and Piscataway. I actually was running the ball on the sideline. Nadir Barnwell, who actually went to Rutgers, hit me clean out of bounds. Sophomore year, and I'm thinking to myself, all I could remember was my uncle and my dad's voice saying, you got to get up. You got to show them, like, you're not the crybaby. Yeah. I popped up. I'm hurting, but I popped up quick. I'm like, well, I'm feeling it, and I just went back in the game. So it took about from early on Pop Warner to sophomore year to really, like, just getting hit is going to hurt for maybe a play or two. You can withstand. Sometimes you got to, if you're hurt, you're hurt. Yeah. But nicks and bruises are going to come in football.
Man, listen, what you learn on the field is what you find out is true in life, right? Pain is a part of the process that delivers you to your purpose. But I kind of line up all my stuff, but I'm telling you, when you're talking about becoming a man, you're an adult. Obviously, successful start to your career in the National Football League. But people don't recognize that's the callus that has to develop to become secure. It's like there's a heart under here. There's a bleeding heart. We all got hearts, but as a man, you have to be respectfully hardened to an extent to actually survive the ebbs and flows of life. And there's nothing like our game that really positions you for it, man. So who would you, like you mentioned, obviously a couple people, but who were some of the formative, people in your life, right? Just cultivating, becoming a man of character, a man of discipline, what it takes to be successful in anything. Who were some of the people that you felt like really put you on the right pathway, gave you the insight, gave you the game, or just facilitated a lot of your growth?
Well, definitely my dad. My dad.
Big respect.
Just the fact that this is his 22nd year going to NYU, and he travels on the train every day. Teach? He's actually the media manager for NYU, so he handles all like the projectors and all that stuff, making sure everything runs right for the teacher. So he's the big support system at the school. And just
big respect,
Pops. Just seeing him grind every day and never complain and never just like see us. There's definitely times I like now as I got older, I can tell there was times where he was just like sucking it up, like I got people I gotta I gotta eat at the end of the day. So just seeing that now is like I respect him so much more because he never complained. He was at every football game, every basketball game, every track meet, making sure he left New York early if he had to go in early. So definitely him. My uncle, like I said, he instilled a lot of like hardship, and my dad's kind of the nice guy. But my uncle on the field was like, yo, you better go score this touchdown, or you got 50 doing things like that. That was like, I'm gonna go score this touchdown because I don't want to deal with you. But it was always them two were really big in my life. And then my dad's the youngest of 9. So his whole family. My mom, she's the rock. She's the one that holds it down. She's the one that holds us all together. She literally, I don't think I'd be able to do anything today if it wasn't for my mom, because she, I have a learning disability, so she became a teacher because of my learning disability.
Wow.
So it's truly a family net. Like, I'm the baby, so like everybody just like really just.
So they rallied around. It's great to hear you actually have the gratitude. Like everybody has a different family, different experience, but gratitude is really the foundation that allows us to really flourish, right? And it's like when you can start valuing and appreciating people, then that's the foundation to build on. So what kind of learning disability did you have, growing up? And obviously, mom and your family is a big part of that construct, but what did how was that process for you from a confidence standpoint? And, what were some of the hacks, cheat codes that's allowed you to find success in so many areas? Because we're going to talk about some of what you're doing off.
Definitely, my learning disability, I had an IEP, so it's basically like helping me in classes, so I always had the second teacher, something I had to get over. Sure. Because all my friends would be like, oh, that kid has a second teacher in the classroom, but did they know I had it also? Because I was a star athlete. I was doing everything on the field. They thought I was just one of the other kids. I tried to make it that way. Yeah. But when they started finding out, I kind of was on that page where like they would say things and I'd be like, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like I would lose confidence. Like, can I really do this classwork stuff? Can I really do this without this second teacher?
Yeah.
And then it took until like 5th grade. I think it was 5th grade. My mom became like a substitute teacher in my school.
Yes.
She went and got her. She did all that. At first she went to school for finance at East school in Massachusetts.
Nice.
So she went to school for that. But then seeing how struggle I was in school, so
Yeah.
she went and got her teacher certification and all that.
Oh boy, your parents was laying
Oh yeah,
down,
oh
bro.
yeah, oh yeah. So
I love it.
They truly pour into us, me and my sister. So my IEP was extra time on tests because I had a concentration component where I couldn't concentrate on tests or quizzes and stuff like that. Some of my teachers would literally have to take me out of the classroom and like walk me through the school just so I can take a test or stuff like that. I knew what I was doing. It was just like the concentration standpoint was like and I
just scramble.
Everything would just scramble in my head like, what is going on? Actually, it took me all the way up until college to really learn how to sound out words.
Man, bro, I'm so proud of you, man. You know, it's so great because this is the stuff that people need to hear, right? Parents actually need to hear this. I'm gonna tell you what, you will go through some stuff with some kids, and maybe even potentially for years before you actually find out that there's really a real issue.
Yeah.
And the kind of compassion that you have to have, and as well as the understanding. But amazing example of parents that were not only could see it, but make the necessary sacrifice so that you could flourish. I could see such a beautiful combination of adversity, but as well as care and support in some of your journey. But at what point did you realize, whether it was sport, that you had a vision for your life and allowing maybe, okay, I think I got something here with this football thing. And did you start seeing a vision for yourself, through the game of football? And how did that materialize, as you moved toward college?
So I would say it took me to about junior year to really realize, of high school that, I could definitely go to college.
Yeah.
And then we'll see from there. My junior year was probably my best year of college. Of high school.
What position you played in high school?
So I was a running back and safety. So I was just toting the pill, just outrunning everybody. I was faster than everybody. I knew in college I was never going to play running back because I don't know. It's just, if the speed catches up, I wasn't a guy who was going to read this whole jump cut, get into this whole,
but
with all that.
You was killing in high school.
Yeah, I knew I had the athleticism to play at the next level.
No doubt.
So junior year, I knew I could play in college.
Yeah.
Then my freshman year, I became a freshman All-American at Ole Miss. Went there, started all 4 years, and then it took to my junior year to really, again, another junior year, to really realize, the next level is really, I can see it. Like, I see these NFL coaches coming in.
Yeah.
They want to talk to my coach. My coach is giving the feedback like what I should be doing, what they're looking at, and all this stuff. And being on the watch list for the Senior Bowls and all this stuff.
It's crazy.
You start to see that stuff, and it's like
You said Ole Miss.
oh yeah, hottie toddy.
How did you choose Ole Miss coming from Jersey?
Hottie toddy.
Bro, that is a rare. You don't see too many Jersey recruits.
We actually just
Launch
had
out to
two
Ole
that
Miss.
just went down to Jersey from Irvington and Bergen Catholic, but they ended up leaving one. They're both at Ohio State now.
Got you.
The Mississippi ain't for everybody. It is the deep South is different than going to Virginia,
Way
going
different.
to North Carolina. When you go to Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee,
Yeah.
you're seeing a different life.
It's a whole different
Again,
life.
a different
My son jumped in the Air Force. He was over there in Biloxi, so we got down there for
okay.
a quick minute. But even that is like just the pace of life is crazy when you spend a few hours in a city and environment. Like, oh, okay, y'all different now. But these good experience for you though.
Oh, it was an eye opener, I would say. You get to see
Best and worst part of your experience in Mississippi.
We'll go with best first. The best was just playing in the SEC.
Big facts.
I'm a part of Omega Sci-Fi, so becoming a Q. My dad's a Q.
You got your Q?
Following my dad's footsteps to becoming a Q.
Yo, wow.
Yeah, it was definitely a great experience. But the best experience was definitely just seeing life in a different picture. In the Northeast is kind of like fast paced. You're going here, you're going there, you're going there. Where in the South is like you're holding the door open for somebody 5 minutes walking. You're going to see family. Your family's a big component down there. You're going to church every Sunday. Things are closed on Sundays because it's the church belt. Like you're seeing different things and that I would have never been exposed to if I didn't go down there.
Yeah.
But the worst thing is, there is anywhere there's racism, but down there it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different because they'll smile. They'll say it to your face. They ain't scared to tell you you don't belong here. You just here to play football. Keep it pushing. But then it's not everybody. So you can't.
Nah, absolutely
Just like in
not.
anything, you can't take it as every person in here is racist. You got to take it.
Yes.
Every person, give everybody the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. It's great that you have that perspective. I know it's been a volatile reality that we've experienced over the last 3 years, and although the waters are calming a little bit, it's like we're feeding into something that's not quite what it is. Racism exists in measure.
Yeah.
And I think that's even how it is in many of the racist states. The majority of people have progressed beyond it, but there are racists.
Yeah.
And when you encounter one, I think you have to drill with the one that you encounter.
Yeah, just the one. Don't put them all in a bucket and say, no, it's not that.
It's typically not that.
It's not that.
Yeah, man. But I can imagine, and I told my son, like, obviously, he's 21 years old now. I'm like, boy, you about as black. My son, he darker than me. I'm like, hey, boy, stay on base.
Right.
Hey,
right.
Well, I ain't down there. That's my firstborn. So until respect the limits and respect the boundaries
exactly
of people's, experience.
Yeah.
But, then eventually you do know. Then you settle in. You figure out what's safe and, how to be friendly. End of the day, as a man, I go home to your family.
Exactly.
So super dope, man. So obviously you end up being a free agent in the National Football League, I believe. And you've had a successful entry. Right now you're actually a free agent. I know you're with the 49ers in camp this year.
Yep.
So tell me about the process for you preparing for the draft, highs and lows, and, what did you learn about yourself? Because obviously there's nothing that really came easy for you. Obviously, you played in the SEC, which is elite competition. But, what did you learn about yourself through that process, and how did you pave a way for yourself in the National Football League? We're going to talk about the mentality because I'm a 6th-round dude. I'm a special teamer.
Yeah.
This is what I live.
Get it out the mud.
I lived it, and I'm still living it as an entrepreneur. So talk to me about your mentality, what you felt like made you wired to find that success as you were preparing for the draft.
The draft was kind of weird my year because I was COVID.
Ooh.
So I was the COVID year. So it was kind of weird also because my last game of my senior year, I broke 4 ribs. So I didn't go to a Senior Bowl. I didn't go to any Senior Bowls.
Did you get any invites?
So I got invite to East West,
okay,
and the Gridiron one.
Gotcha.
So I got invited to those, but I couldn't go. I had broken ribs.
I ain't get no invites. They ain't gonna holler at me.
Yeah. So you couldn't go to those. Then after that, I thought I was gonna get invited to the combine. Didn't get invited to the combine. So I'm training all this time. I'm right here in Jersey at Test Football Academy in Martinsville.
Okay.
Up there, up North Jersey. Training there, working out, putting out great numbers, all this and that. Didn't get invited to the combine. Was kind of upset about that, but I was like, you got to keep pushing. 2 weeks later, COVID hits. So I'm like, I done paid my parents, and then my agent paid for some of it, but then we had to pay for the rest because I wasn't going to be a drafted guy. Agents it's an investment for them too. So
sure.
We had to pay for the rest. So I'm like, all these different things keep happening. So COVID happened. My pro day, so I went to Mama's pro day on like a Monday. My pro day, I was supposed to leave on Wednesday for my pro day on Saturday.
Okay.
All the coaches are like, yeah, we're getting off the road. They're telling us to come back home. Pro days are done. I'm like, no way. I'm literally supposed to leave for my pro day on that Saturday, and they tell us Monday everything getting shut down, this and that. Good thing Tess had a lot of connections with like the Giants and Jets, so we had like a pro day at their facility, which they recorded, did all that. So I was able to get my numbers out to people. My agent was able to.
What did you end up doing? 40.
So 40, I ended up running 4.36.
They play flaming.
Yeah. I end up having a good that pro day that I count as my pro day. It is what it is. So I did like 4.36, had 39-inch vert, like 4.06 in the shuttle. I was killing it. I was like, and I ran back-to-back 4.36, so it wasn't like a 4.36 or 4.4. Nah, it was like 4.36, 4.37. Yeah. I could spin a little bit. I get up out of there.
You got them scooters.
But it was tough,
Yeah, that's definitely tough.
COVID happened, and then the draft comes around, and I'm like, I didn't get to perform in front of coaches. I didn't get to do none of this. I knew the draft wasn't probably going to be my thing. My agent was real with me. He wasn't one of those agents that was like, I'm getting calls. You're going to be in the 5th round. He was like, I'm going to be real with you. It's either going to be 6th, 7th, or undrafted, but you'll probably get a shot somewhere. To this day, I will always, thank my parents for always instilling me, treat people how you want to be treated, because it came to help me out later on. Yeah. So in the draft, I go through the draft. teams start calling the undrafted people around 6 and 7 saying, like, if you don't get drafted, we'll pick you up in the undrafted, boom, 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 start doing all that stuff. So that happens, and I get a call from a familiar number. So it's actually the Carolina's DB coach, who was actually Temple's DB coach when I was getting recruited in high school.
Ah, there it is.
So Coach Rule was my second offer in high school. But he recruited me at running back. So I was like, I can play DB coach. I can do whatever. So he's like, come out here. We'll give you a shot. Boom, boom, boom. You'll be fair chances, all this. So that's why I ended up going to Carolina. I had a couple teams call and offer. But I was like, I just want to go somewhere where I know I can get a shot. Yeah. I just need to be on the field and not one of those dudes who's just a camp body. As you go in the league, you see like there's people there just for camp bodies.
It's pretty tough. Listen, that COVID year was a doozy. That was actually my last year with the Giants in the front office. I had my own set of drama going on where situation wasn't well when Gettleman and some of his cronies came in. But, Gettleman kind of got ousted from Carolina himself. But how was that for you? Like, man, was there any fear mechanisms, man? Were you just confident, like, man, if I just get in there, I'm locked in? What's the family like? And how did you anchor down? And ultimately, did you make the roster immediately, or were you a practice squad guy?
So I made the roster immediately. I was on the 53. Yeah. So really, when I went in, I was young, so I was like, I'm in the league. I'm thinking I made it. Big facts, I'm a free agent. I made it on the team. And then you start your older guys start telling you, like, you better put that work in because this goes from 90 to 53. I was like,
real quick.
Dang. So, after that, I really dialed in on special teams.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to fly down every rep because we didn't have any preseason games that year either. So it was all scrimmages. So like I'm beating everybody in every drill. I ain't care. I'm like, I don't care if I'm dead tired. I'm going to win every drill.
That's how you do it.
So I really spent my time a lot with the special teams coordinator, making sure that he knew my name. I knew like I wasn't going to play. I wasn't going to be a starter. I probably wasn't going to be the second backup. Mm-hmm. Probably the third maybe. So I'm like, I got to make sure that the special teams coach knows my name and I pop out to him every time I play.
This is big. And this is literally the game that I'm giving the players throughout my role in the National Football League. I believe you might have had Mark Carrier in there over Carolina. Yeah. So, yeah. And at the end of the day, the best ability is availability. So your health and you being available for a role that needs to be filled.
Yep.
And special teams, there are no backups in the league.
Right.
You're either a starter or you're a starter on special teams.
Exactly.
Right?
People don't understand that. Like, I'm not a starter, but I play every down on special teams.
Yeah, that's the mindset. But at the end of the day, playmakers stick out.
Exactly.
Right? So, did you feel like there was a time where you just knew, I'm locked in? And at what point did you, of course, number one, that validation of you made this team, not having to pack that playbook is a good feel.
Right.
So, at what point did you feel like, I'm here, I'm settled, I'm confident, I can do this?
It actually happened in like our camp area, camp time, when Coach Rule. So we were, it's COVID, so you couldn't bring players in and out.
Yeah.
So I was playing defense, playing special teams. They talked to me after one practice because again, Coach Rule recruited me at running back.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, come on after practice, come do some running back drills. I'm over there like I'm back in high school. Right. So then the next scrimmage, I have a different jersey on than everybody. So I have a yellow jersey on, and I'm going both ways.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater's our quarterback. I'm the second string safety, coming in at the second string safety. I end up picking Teddy off that scrimmage.
Let's go.
I end up picking Teddy off, and then I end up scoring 2 touchdowns at running back. And from then on, I was like, I think I done submitted my name as a 52. So then it went on. The season starts, strictly special teams, kickoff.
Sure.
All that I was up for our team's Pro Bowl on special teams. I was killing it. I was like, I totally dialed in. And I was on scout team, and I took a initiative. Like I talked to some of my older teammates. I was like, how do you get better when you're not out there on the field on Sundays?
Yeah.
Like scout team, make the best of it. So I was at safety, but I knew I could play nickel. So I ended up just playing nickel during our scout team, and I'm just guarding our wide receivers, giving them the best look. They're telling me how they want to be guarded, and I'm like, I got you. Boom, boom, doing what I can do to help them.
Yeah.
It comes to our week against Green Bay, and my coach comes in and was like, we had another nickel there. He was like, he's going to play in the red zone. You're playing every other down. I'm like, wait, hold on. I ain't played. Like, I'm good enough. I know I'm good enough.
Yeah.
But you telling me against Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers on the other side. So I went out there, and my first play, I'm like about to blitz, and all he says is, 33's not coming. I'm like, how you know I ain't coming? And I didn't go. I was like, all right, this guy really watches film. So that was my first start at nickel. I had like two pass deflections, had like 6 tackles.
Nice.
I had a really good game.
Stuff in that stat sheet.
Yeah, then every game after I started at nickel, and the rest is history.
It was impressive to me because, not only, where you finding ways to contribute, because to me, this is what translates into success in life, is where you be able to see an opportunity and understand that you can add value. The greatest thing that you can do is find a way to contribute.
Yep.
It's not just in the game of football, it's within any particular team. And where many of us, we see people fall away all the time in teams, is that everybody wants it their way.
Exactly.
Everybody wants it at their time. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants it on their terms. And ultimately, none of us call all of our own shots. You can only control the controllables.
Exactly.
So the part that I'm really, really love when I start seeing Mike on LinkedIn, and he's talking about what he's doing with athlete management. I've been a firm believer for over 5 to 8 years, just because I've had this professional experience. Some athletes, I think, number one, I think agents provide value in general. But I think more players at this day and age actually need managers, or could benefit from having a manager more than an agent, than especially with marketing agents. Yeah. So it was great to see that you had somebody that you were partnering with to create a vision for your life on and off the field. Yeah. Talk about the relationship, and talk about some of the things that you guys have kind of, just the foundation that you're laying in relation to your business, your brand, and how you're maximizing your NFL experience.
Seabrook is the dog. He gets everything done, from making sure I have a plan for every year. We sit down for a good, we have our yearly, basically our yearly meeting or review of what do we want to do on the field? What do we want to do off the field? What do we want to do in the community? What business ideas do you have? So he's taking all this information, then puts it in a PowerPoint for me to actually see visual. Sure. So now I see okay, I said this in the AC. My biggest thing, my quote that I say to myself is, you can't set things in the AC and not perfect them in the heat. So just the fact of him doing that and me seeing the visuals is all right, now I know what I got to go attack. I wanted to be a starter. He had it set in there. This is what you got to go do. This is what you said. I became a starter. Mm-hmm. I wanted to start a gym. He was like, okay, this is what we got to do. Boom, we got to do this. We got to get this equipment. Yeah. He's helping me with every asset of my life, and it's truly a blessing, because my parents can't do everything. Yeah, my agent has 10 other people he has to worry about. But strictly having Mike is I know I have somebody in my corner that, for community, my endeavors outside of football, my football career, stuff to partner with the team. He's hitting them up. I don't have to. He's making sure, when I was in North Carolina, I partnered with the Boys and Girls Club down there and doing different things. Mike has set all that up, and I literally had to just show up and have fun with the kids. I tell him I'm passionate about something, and he goes and gets it. So it's truly, I truly can say exactly what you said. Agents are good for what they do, but you need someone in your corner that's going to go to bat for you and help you be the best person you can be.
Listen, it's 100% our responsibility to take advantage of the platform that we have, but there's nothing great that happens by yourself. I don't, self-made is a thing that's kind of thrown around often, and I understand. It's great. We get it. Yeah. Everybody got their own version of getting it from the mud, but at the end of the day is everyone's experiencing adversity, trials, and if you don't have someone that's really committed to helping you execute a vision, it's gonna be real challenging.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be real challenging, man. So, man, just big kudos for the relationship, and like I said, this is entering your 5th season in the league.
This is 4.
4. Yep. And in training camp with the best team in the National Football League.
Boys like that. Boys like that. And, even in practice.
Listen. So talk to me really quickly. Obviously, you definitely been a starter in this league, and you didn't make that 53-man roster. Talk to me about that mentality, where you're at right now, because we talk about transition so much, and what you're excited about. Obviously, the season's not over. I can imagine you staying ready, prepared for that call. But just talk to me about the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows, and what's been your lowest moment. When you think about low moments internally, internal struggles, what is it that you ground yourself and find your way out? How do you persevere against the inner voices, demons, et cetera, et cetera?
This year was totally different for me. It's basically like, for like a regular person's perspective, it's like going to a new school and you know nobody. You're trying to find out who the cool kids are, who the jocks are, who the cheerleaders are. So you're trying to find your group of people who you can talk to. And then being where I wasn't one of those high valued free agents.
True.
So I was one of, like, the free agents that they valued were, they come in, they meet the coaches, they meet these people. I'm on my first day meeting, the weight room staff and all them, getting their names. So it's like, I'm not a high valued guy.
No.
So it was definitely an experience that I needed to happen because football was too easy.
Boom. Well, all right, so yeah, you said it. So it was too easy for you up to that extent. Like,
yeah,
Coach
I was
Rule,
like, so, and for me, from 5 to 26, 25, I was the best. I was one of the best guys. I was, I was going to be a freshman starter on varsity. I knew I was going to be a freshman All-American. I knew I can be the best. I knew I was number one player coming out of prep school, going into college. So
Gotcha.
I was always one of the best. Then going into Carolina, our roster wasn't the best. So I knew I had an opportunity to be one of the best on the team, be a starter, be a contributor on the team.
Yeah.
Then you go to a team like San Fran that's been winning year in and year out,
bro.
They got dogs like
everywhere.
You go to practice and you're like, I don't think anybody from Carolina right now is starting on this team. I'm like, these are some true dogs, and that's not just the fact that I was there. I didn't make the team, so I can say so many bad things about them. Yeah. But literally, I cannot, like, the work ethic. The day we got there, OTAs and phase 3 and all that stuff has kind of changed since probably you were in the league where you guys were getting after from day one. Where now it's like people aren't showing up.
Yeah,
that team was together. Other than Bosa, with his contract stuff, but the core of the team was together in the work ethic. I'm like, and OTAs, I'm like, I better be ready for training camp. If this is how they in OTAs. Like, I'm talking about, coach didn't have. I went there with Steve Wilkes, and he would say the same things in the meetings. Like, I've never been around a team that works this hard without even having to tell them. There wasn't no coaches telling us run to the ball. It was Fred like, I'm beating all y'all to the ball. Whoever beat me, we could do something about it. I bet you won't beat me 2 times in a row. Like, Greenlaw, like the sense of urgency they have was crazy. So just seeing that, and at that point, I was like I said, I wasn't a priority. Yeah. So I was running with the 2s and the 3s as a veteran guy, helping those guys out.
Yeah.
And it was an eye opener, man. Just seeing the work ethic and what it takes from a winning team, a team that is 5-0 right now. Just beat the
brakes off the Cowboys.
Like, you can tell that wasn't made just in those practices they had before. That's made in training camp, OTAs, the work ethic. So I can say I'm nothing but blessed to have the opportunity to get cut by them.
Yeah.
Truly.
Hey, listen, man, bro, I love your heart, man, because usually most athletes aren't honest enough about, I have never seen this before.
Right.
Whether you were ready or prepared or not, good enough. In light of what they had, I can't sit up here. I remember when I got cut the first year, I had injuries that I was overcoming, and I got cut from the Giants. I'm like, now that 08 team was savages.
Yeah.
Like, we won the Super Bowl. I got hurt the next year. When I came off of PUP, got a little injury. And they're like, oh, man, how can they cut you the next year? I'm like, it wasn't good enough at the time.
It's the belly of the beast.
It's the monster. I said, listen, guess what? When you're not that guy, you have to be overwhelmingly present.
You got to pop out.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I'm an old Chevy on the streets. I'm like, I ain't fuel injected. You out here, you 39 inch vertical. I'm like, nah, I was 30 inch vertical out here. So, but you know what? What gave me the ability to have a successful career for 5 straight years, go to be an all-pro special teams player, this and that, was I knew who I was and how to attack the opportunities that created more opportunities. Like, oh, this dude keep making plays. They will find a way, and I think it's the same way in life. You have to find a way to position yourself to stand out above your peers. And guess what? When the pressure is increased, like when you move into Santa Clara, and you got to level up your game to stand out. When the talent is the talent pool is amazing. Yeah, I got to be way more intense in my approach prior to getting here. Yeah. And that's how you become an elite performer, man. So super dope, man. Tell me, just last thing, like, you've opened up a gym in Jersey. What are some of the things that you've learned as you've been home grinding here, waiting for that call about yourself, like just that discovery process, and what are you looking forward to, just kind of continue to grow in different areas on and off the field?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I learned is, like, a lot of people say it, but you don't live it until it's time you're done, is that I'm more than just a football player.
Yeah.
Like, I opened up a business, but football was number one priority.
100%. And it should be right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. But then seeing, like, I have more impact on, I have young athletes that are coming to me asking me questions about, am I at the right school? Okay, I'm sitting down with their parents, and they're asking me questions of, I'm 26 years old, and they're asking me life questions. A mom is asking me life questions. I'm like, I'm going to answer to the best of my ability, but I can put you in front of the people that got the right answers.
Man.
So, it's been a blessing to actually go through this and go through this process of, now it's like you got to be ready at all times still, but then there's still opportunities to, figure out what's next and figure out and really put a stamp on the gym and, get the clientele up and, do different things. Like, we just had a dance class for the first time. We're doing different things because my other two owners, they also have full-time jobs. So the fact that I'm home and I could dial in on, I'm literally there because I work out there, I live there, I do everything. So it's like my home, basically.
It's beautiful.
I'm there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, I feel like. And it's just it's cool because now I get to implement different things. I get to, let's try this out because we got time to do it.
Yeah.
Or I can really, like, hone in on this operation aspect to make sure if I ever do leave, it's going to be good regardless. So it's been cool.
Super dope, man.
Doing some other things, like me and my cousin just opened up a event hall in Metuchen.
Dope.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing, it's an art gallery, so you'll be able to have different things.
Okay.
Got to get you in there, see the place out when it's done.
Listen, I'm so Jersey, like, meaning my heart has always been to align with, like, it's a peculiar space, but there's so much talent that's come out of the Garden State, and we just gotta find ways to collaborate more, from business perspective as well as brand perspective. I'm OG Bobby Johnson on the scene now. I'm grayed up, salt and pepper style. But even that's kind of what we got going on at our store at Tyree's Table. It's really going to be an ecosystem and an incubator for ideas and collaboration. And, we're going to be doing events in the evening. We got a nice little on-the-go options. So that's really what it's all about, man. It's great to see a young athlete with an amazing story as an overcomer maximize. Because none of us know, and you still got good football in front of you, praying for those doors to swing wide open. But none of us know when and how that thing will just shift and change.
Yeah.
I tell people it's not a career, it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's an experience, man. And hopefully you can walk away with some career money.
Yeah. For sure.
Hopefully,
But it's definitely, I definitely get what you're saying about the experience because it helps you with life.
Yeah.
Because it's not something like I try to tell my friends, we're not in a job. It's not a job where you go from making little to a lot. It goes from a lot to a little.
To a little, bro.
So it's like you gotta, in the years that you're there, you gotta make the most impact on yourself to make sure the little turns into a lot later.
There it is. And my transition was different. I said, just imagine, you make $100,000. Now you get a 90% pay cut. That's kind of like transitioning from the National Football League. It's like, some guys are going from making $1 million a year, and they might step into a good, solid job, and they're making $100,000.
It's a big,
right? That's massive.
You really got to go financial advisor. Yeah, what's my budgeting? We got to sit down with this right now.
So I tell people the budget is the most important document. Learning discipline financially is hard when you have resources, right? It's like, I can afford that, and you ain't going to feel it. And if you learn that on the front end, how to be a little bit more disciplined, how to strategy, ultimately your character proves who you are short term to long term. So, it's really our person that exposes our flaws, right? And nothing more than ever in this social media digital age where people just, there's so many guys just struggling in public, but guys are figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
And I think it's just great. I got to get nosy for a quick minute.
Come on.
Before I let you know. What's going on in the ladies' life? You good? You dating?
I'm good right now. I'm good right now.
You in these streets?
I'm not in these streets. I'm
You
ducked
hoeing?
off.
What's
I'm ducked
up?
off. I'm ducked off in on the other side of Jersey.
You chilling?
I'm chilling.
All right, that's good. So you ain't out here slaying. You ain't out here slaying.
Nah, we won't do that. Mama raised me better.
Be respectful. Have moderation.
Yeah.
I like to play around and open up this conversation because I mean, we are who we are until we change, right?
Yeah.
I'm a high integrity. I'm a man of God, 100%. I don't shrink back from my story. I always want to create an environment with people because, like, number one, I said the best thing that you can have is a compatible partner.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you've been in a position to choose well. Like, you got to choose well, right? And that's the hardest thing to do. These chicks is thirst traps out here in the street. God bless y'all. I'll be 20 years married next year. I'm like, man, y'all in bad shape out here. So good luck. But I'm always here to serve and help people navigate because that's the best decision I ever made was getting married. 24 years old, married, and by the grace of God, like it was God that kind of, buttoned me up in a way where I could have a real vision for my life and get my family in order. But you're a dynamic athlete when you focus.
Yeah.
And I said, you out here in these streets.
Oh
boy.
Yeah, everything gets thrown at you. Like, where am I at? Like, is it Tuesday or is it Thursday? What day is it?
That's what get folks caught up. We here in Hoboken, they call this 1 square mile of fun. And I said that's where people are actually losing on the fields because you're so spread, chasing these chicks, chasing different forms of the bag.
I've seen it firsthand.
I know you see it.
It could get dangerous. It could get dangerous because you don't realize how far you're in until something happens. Then you're like, oh, maybe I do need to relax and settle down. But
nah, listen, I mean, like I said, it's a big decision. And you only want to make it once. So I totally get that. Just super proud of your journey, man. Just share with the people where they can find you. Share with us gym information and what we should expect from Myles Hartsfield moving forward.
Well, the gym is Limitless Fitness NJ. We're located in Sayreville, New Jersey. If you got athletes, group classes, weight room classes, physical therapy, all at the gym. Come check us out. You can find me on Instagram at Myles_Harts. Hearts Foundation is Hearts with a Z Foundation. Pretty much, we got a lot of stuff going on, especially in October. We got our breast cancer walk, the 22nd with Middlesex County. So just love giving back. So, come check us out at the gym, also at the foundation.
Dude is killing it. This dude is killing it. We talk about a blueprint. Athletes is the blueprint for high performance success, right? So what we do at DT3 is, we take everything that we've learned, of course, on and off the field. Excellence in life leads to excellence in leadership. That leads to excellence in the marketplace. How you do anything is how you do everything, which is why it's so important that your character can sustain your gifting. Yep. Hey, listen, man, and I think, Myles here is one of those examples of how you can be a young man, recognize a unique opportunity and a platform, and seize it for the now and for the later. So I appreciate your contributions. Make sure y'all check out Catch the Morning Podcast. We'll check in with you next week.